Welcome to the Memory Memo.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Memo. On today's episode, we have the world-famous Jeremy Piven.
Shut the fuck up!
Jeremy Piven.
Oh, good, man. Thank you for that intro. That was amazing. We got to have a clap. Yeah, it was man, this is good stuff.
Sorry, it should have been more high energy. My bad.
No. It's perfect.
You know, Montauk's very chill, so we like to keep it that way.
I love it. I love it here.
It's your first time here?
I've been here before. Yeah. I've been here a few times, actually. Yeah, I like it a lot. I keep coming back here. This may be the last time I'm here, though, after this. This may be it. This feels like
it.
it.
That bad.
This is the end of the...
Well, no, I mean...
This is the beginning. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Could be great.
It could be amazing. This could be incredible. Do you want me to run with this, or do you guys want...
no,
I mean, I hate to make you work while you're working, but...
No,
we
go in.
We
Let's
keep
go.
it very loose, you know.
Oh, okay,
So it's
cool.
like, you know.
Yeah.
But I just want to let you know I'm really big fan of yours.
Thank you, man. A man of taste.
I am.
I like it.
Again, I think we spoke of it before, but the movie PCU, like me and my friends, like loved that movie. We still
Nice.
quote some of your lines from that movie, like to this day.
It was definitely ahead of his time.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And I know I've read a lot about it because I'm such a fan of that movie. I know you've said before that like you weren't able to ad lib a lot of it, but you ended up working around that and going through the writers, which I always thought was pretty cool. Like there's a lot of that in there. I feel is you. Like I mean, at least I feel like it was.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know me, so you don't know if it was me. But no, I appreciate that.
What I mean is like your body of work. I've seen other things you've done.
Yeah.
I felt
It
like
doesn't fall into the Jeremy Piven...
No, I think it does. I think but like I said, I had read that he had said that they weren't able to do a lot of ad-libbing in that during the filming of that movie.
No, so the trick, you know, while you're working is to make all the dialogue feel improvisational, and then once we do that, then it's not nothing magical. It's what actors do. So we've never met before, but the reality is, and I talk a little bit about this in my stand-up. People think that they know me, but we've never met. So when you just said it felt like you, but this is the first time we've ever met, so you don't know who I am. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting little duality,
You're
if
much
you will.
more tranquil than what my vision of Jeremy Piven was going to be.
Yeah, well, this is who I am.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, and, you know, when I play roles, I whip myself up into a frenzy and play whatever is appropriate for that role.
What's your favorite role you've ever played?
It hasn't come out yet. It's called The Performance, something I've been working on for about 15 years, and it'll come out in October.
You're doing this with your family, right?
Yeah, I had my sister adapt and direct it, and my mom gave me the short story Out of the New Yorker by Arthur Miller. It's about a Jewish tap dancer that hides his identity for momentum in his career and dances for Hitler in 1937. And I think it's a really important time for this film to come out because a lot of people don't really know history, you know, and so everyone's kind of an expert on the Middle East now. Right. No one really knew where Gaza was, and now everyone really knows all the what's really going on over there. So for me, I'm just open to the truth, and I think if people were a little bit more open to that, you know, everyone's kind of tied to their opinions, and they go home and they make these signs and they go out there like PCU and they start protesting. They identify the oppressor and then they get after it.
Right.
And, you know, I just don't know. I think it's important that we have all the information, you know, but this is a whole other conversation that we don't need to get into.
We don't need to get too deep off.
I mean, yeah, we don't have to.
No, but I get it. And I think that it's most interesting. 15 years. What do you mean you've been working on it 15 years?
I bought the rights 15 years ago. And then every year I was just paying for it. And they were like, are you sure are you going to make this movie? And, you know, it's a metaphor for life. Everyone will doubt you. Mm-hmm. They laughed at me. No one would put up the money for the film because doing a period piece, which is expensive, and to do an indie film that's expensive is hard to get made.
Right.
So it took me 10 years to find the money. And during each year that I couldn't find the money, I just kept tap dancing. And so I tapped for 10 years before I filmed it. So I was ready by the time we started shooting.
So you can actually tap dance now.
Yeah, I can tap dance well enough. Tapped well enough to pull this role off.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you? So I assume you're a producer on the film. Are you also directing it? Or?
My sister directed it.
Okay, cool.
What's it like working with family?
She and I grew up in the work together in the theater, so we were directed by our parents. So we come by it very naturally. It wasn't awkward to us.
Right.
You know, so we're on shorthand. We respect each other. She's a great director. I'm an unbelievable actor.
Three-time
and
Emmy
three-time
Award winner.
Emmy, Golden Globe. Who's counting
go.
me, roughly? People's champ right here. I could walk down the street and people love me and they miss me. And yet we still have people rebooting shows that we may not want to see. I don't know if we need to see Saved by the Bell again. I don't know. No, seriously. I don't know if there's no one in school.
Yeah.
There's no bell.
Well,
You know what I
don't
mean?
if Saved by the Bell would work now.
Well, they tried it.
They did.
Yeah.
See, and
Did
I
they?
didn't
I
know.
didn't even know.
See, that's what I'm
the
saying.
answer.
You know, bless all of them, and they're incredible. And it was a part of, our history, and it's like comfort food. But it's like what people don't realize is that, like, I was just at this party, and this kid comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, man, can I get a picture?" I go, "How old are you?" He goes, 19. I go, "What do you know me from?" He goes, "Entourage, bro." I watched the whole thing, and I'm going, "Oh, shit." So there's this whole new kind of generation that has fallen in love with Entourage, and the HBO Maxes and the Netflix, no one knows this. So we've got these millions of fans that have stuck with us since back in the day. Then this whole new crop of fans that they don't even realize. So
Entourage is probably my favorite show of all time. I don't know if you can make it in today's environment.
not only could you make it, but it would be better because the climate has been so challenging. And someone like Ari Gold would last about 13 seconds. Lloyd would be his politically correct consultant. He would say, "Ari, we have a meeting right now, and so we have to identify them by their pronouns." And Ari would be like, "Yeah, well, his pronouns are has and been. He's a fucking has-been. Ari, you can't say that. I'm a friend to the gay man. You're not a friend to the gay man." You know what I mean? Like, he would be, so that would be funny.
Yeah. Right.
Having him navigate this world where people lead with their feelings, and Ari is an equal opportunity offender. And the reality is, he wanted to help Lloyd, and he was tough. He was giving him tough love because he wanted to see him succeed. And we moved into a time where everyone gets a participation trophy.
I think that's coming to an end, though. I could be wrong, but I think we're kind of getting out of that right now.
I think that you are right, and it feels like that. I think that it was like this wild dream that we all had, and now that it's coming back into some semblance of normality. I grew up in a very liberal household where, just outside of Chicago, where it was a very integrated community. And so I was so grateful for the way I grew up. And now it just feels forced.
Right.
It's like you're either a good person or you're not.
Right.
You know what I mean? People are just doing these performative gestures, and it's kind of like the lady doth protest too much. You didn't think I was going to quote Shakespeare here in this dive bar, did you?
Happens more than you'd expect.
Really?
Yeah.
When's the last time someone quoted Shakespeare here?
Probably, yeah.
I'll wait for
I had
it.
to think about it. It was probably me, but that's
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
I one time had aspirations of being an actor, so
Okay.
So we settled for a dive bar podcast.
I fell into the money instead of the love of the work. So it was easier to go into the booze business than it was to go on auditions.
So the history of this place is amazing.
rich.
Yeah.
So how did the Stones get involved here? What was their?
I'll take it, and you can clean up what I said.
Yeah, because it's gonna be wrong.
So, the Rolling Stones used to come out here and party with Andy Warhol. And while they were partying with Andy Warhol and Peter Beard, there was like a piano here. So they would come here and fuck around on the piano and make some songs. And then he ended up having an affair with Carly Simon. And they turned it into a song. He's laughing at me like, that's not the story. Tell me the story.
I mean, who had an affair with Carly Simon? Mick or?
Mick supposedly.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's not a. No one has the bare facts on that.
Okay.
That's what we think the song Memory Memo
That's what
is about.
they think it's about. But there's
Okay.
also.
But that's what was so attractive to this place for us.
So Brian's terrible version of what the history of this place is. Let me clean that up.
Yeah, go for it.
68, 69, 70. They're out here living on. Andy Warhol has like an estate with a bunch of cottages out here. They're out here hanging out. Kind of is home base for them. They do stuff in the city. They always kind of come back out here. At the time, Montauk, super rural, or more rural than it is now.
Yeah.
There's only a couple of watering holes. One of them was this place, the Memory
Wow.
Motel, and the other one was down the road called Shagwan. And they used to come here. There was a baby grand piano that they used to mess with and play on. But they kind of weren't the favorites of Memory Motel at the time because they were like the outliers. It was kind of like the local bar. So they would always getting stuff with the barman here, which I believe his name was Paul. Can't remember the last name, but they would always get in like arguments and stuff. And he was like, "Oh, you hippies, you gotta think 68, 69." It's like that kind of fervor.
Yeah.
And now you fast forward 72, they had gone back to England. They cut an album, Black and Blue, and on that album, the track "Memory Motel" is on. Now, some people say that the Memory Motel song isn't necessarily about Memory Motel, but it's about their experiences in Montauk with this girl. Carly Simon was like the big. I think it was Rolling Stone who first put it out that it was Carly Simon that was having an affair with him.
Okay.
I think at the time she was either with or had just left James Taylor, and I'm a local, so I'm from Montauk. I was born and raised out here, so I've always heard that it was not Carly Simon, that it was this friend of ours, mother, who was the girl in the song that he was singing, serenading about.
So a lot of history here.
Yeah.
It was actually a brothel when they were working on the submarines for a while. It still kind of is, but
This is still a brothel?
yeah. I heard there was like some kind of Charlie Sheen sequel thing to. No, am I wrong?
Oh,
about
to Entourage?
that? Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
there
that
was.
about?
I think it was called Ramble On.
Is it technically a sequel or like at all? You don't even know.
I
You
don't
didn't
really.
watch it?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly
I don't
what
even know if
the.
it came out yet. I just saw
Yeah.
some rumble about it.
Yeah,
I didn't even hear about this.
Rumble about Ramble On. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, what else? What do you got to talk about?
How's your stand-up going?
It's going well, man.
Yeah?
It's going well. Yeah, it's just total freedom. Where, like you had mentioned with PCU, part of my background is sketch comedy, so I've been improvising my whole life, and so I can add to a scene, and so I've always tried to get my stuff in, and sometimes it's the right moment, sometimes it isn't, so it's always tricky, and sometimes I do it during the takes, and things kind of fall in. Like I got lucky with Entourage and said, "Hey, let's hug it out, bitch. You want to hug it out?" That was an improv. Like, and then they become catchphrases. But it's few and far between. And with stand-up, I can just get up there and just absolute freedom, and it's just me guiding the ship. Writing all of it, and so I love it. And so if you were you'll see my stand-up tonight, then you'll have a sense of who I am. That's everything that I think is funny. And I enter into stories and do impressions and that whole thing. So it's just me letting my hands go. So that's total creative freedom.
Yeah, you being you, not playing the part.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, it's got to be liberating.
I love it.
How about like in terms of the internet and what's going on there, and breaking a career today versus when you first broke onto Entourage? You have any advice for people who want to one day grow up and be you?
I don't.
There's a lot of those people out there, Jeremy.
I mean, I come from a different time where it just was very cut and dry in terms of you get the audition, you beat everyone else out. You're up against hundreds of people, and you have to be the one. And then if you're the one, then you have to hunt and kill your own food. You get the role, you eat. You don't. And, it's really, really, it's, you have the one of the many variables to making it is being okay with rejection. you just keep getting rejected, and you just stay after it, and if you're not okay with rejection, then you end up here like my man.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
It's funny because I went to a bunch of auditions, and I think I got a call back once, and it didn't actually. Then that didn't happen either, and I don't know. Just the starving artist thing wasn't for me, obviously. So
Yeah.
I went and figured I'd go make some money somewhere. It's
Yeah,
tough,
but
man.
but
in
it's,
the beginning it has to be tough. Like it's like I from the little bit that I did, it's got to be tough.
Yeah,
like,
but but at the same time, if it's something that eats away at you, and you feel like there is something that you didn't really try, you have to go out, you have to get after it. But I would, the advice I would give is, if you don't have to do it, don't do it. Because if you have to do it, nothing will stop you.
You mean have to do it like you have a drive, like I have to scratch that itch, or what do you mean?
Yeah, you have to do it like, you have this deep connection to it, where you'll do anything to get there and to do it, and nothing will stop you. And
What was the light at the end of the tunnel for you? Was it like the money, the fame? Like what?
Well,
what,
I didn't.
What was it?
I had no reference for money or fame, so it wasn't that, because I had no reference for it.
So it was like the creative outlet.
Yeah, it's just knowing that, like, because I started when I was 8 years old, and got up on stage. I didn't break through. I won the Fresh Face of the Year at 40 years old, so it took me 32 years to break through. So you still, technically, you still got time. That's what I'm saying. Literally, like, doesn't matter how old you are or whatever. Like, I just knew that if I kept going, I'm going to break through, just because, it's the feeling of being on stage, connecting, doing it, having it feel magical. Time takes on a new meaning. You got off stage and 2 hours went by like that, or you make people laugh, and that's addictive. There are these feelings that you're trying to get back to, as opposed to, I'm adorable, I did a sex tape, gee, I want to be famous. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And we see it everywhere, everywhere. And I'm not shitting on it. It's just, that's not my journey.
Right. Well, you learned from your mother, right? Your mother
Yeah.
taught you how to act?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
I mean that.
My mother and my father.
Yeah, that
But they were the Piven Theater, which is still there. So my father, he did, he practiced tough love in the way that he gave it to me straight. There was no, like, this is at a different time. Right, now people are so, and we're coming out of it, but worried about people's feelings, that you won't, people are afraid to give it to you straight because they'll be reprimanded, you know what I mean? And so they give everyone a trophy or whatever. And I came from a time when he would give it to me straight. And so, it's, he would say things to me, during rehearsal, that if I didn't progress, he would let me know, and he would bring the hammer down.
Was this shit talk kind of like Ari
Not shit-
Gold shit talk, or no?
Well, he would
Because
say,
that was like the essence of Ari Gold, was really coming at you hard.
yeah, Ari Gold was basically an homage to Ari Emanuel, who is an incredibly successful businessman, who purchased the UFC, WWE, and he's Mark Wahlberg's agent, and so he really exists, and that guy exists, and that's him, whether he wants to admit it or not. And no, that's reality.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Larry David's agent too.
Yes.
He probably takes like the 10 biggest talent in the entire world and
Can
reps
I
them.
ask a question?
You can, obviously you're doing it anyways. Jump in.
So, how was it playing Costanza on Seinfeld? Do you have to
Well,
study Larry David to be Costanza? Because that's Costanza.
Yeah. So that's an example of, like, you said, did you want to be rich and famous? I had money, and I didn't even know I had money. Like, my first gig was I was a regular on the Larry Sanders Show, which kicked off original programming on HBO. And I was a regular on that, playing the head writer. And I was in the parking lot walking to work, and Mark Hirschfeld, who cast Seinfeld, came up to me and goes, "Hey, Jeremy, I know you're on your way to your table read, but I cast the casting director of Seinfeld. I didn't have a TV. I was on television, and I didn't have a TV. So, because I still had that broke Chicago actor's mindset. I didn't really realize I had money. And so I hadn't seen the show. But it sounded amazing. Seinfeld, okay, you're on it. That's a show? Cool. That sounds cool. And he goes, yeah, I cast it. Would you audition to play George Costanza in the show within the show? I don't know what any of that means. But it sounded like fancy.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, it's an NBC show. I was like, NBC, that sounds amazing.
It's big.
So and I go, well, who plays George Costanza? He said, Jason Alexander. And I was like, oh, I know Jason Alexander. And they go, oh, you know Jason? Cool. I said, yeah. So I went in and I auditioned, and I did my impersonation of because I had Jason's voice in my head because I would always bump into him on the lot and whatnot. And I was an extra in one of his movies. And so I did my Jason Alexander impersonation for them, and Jerry was there, and they were like, oh my God. They go, you must be a huge fan of the show. And I'd never seen it. And I was like, yes, I am. I'd never seen the show ever. So I went and did the show with all these guys that were incredible, and they were so funny and talented and amazing. I didn't know who any of them were, which is better because like I was basically working with the Beatles and didn't know they were the Beatles. Right. So it's the best way to meet someone. And I still run into Jerry to this day, and like I ask him questions about stand-up, and he's just an open book to me. He's like a mentor, you know, so I'm very lucky. I'll just say like, man, how do you do that crowd work? You know, you're dealing with pro-Palestinian protesters in the middle of your show. Yeah. You know, he's like, you don't get on the train, you get in the train. Free Palestine. And, you know, he's just like, he's like, what's going on? And I saw him literally go, guys. And they're all screaming free Palestine. He goes, we want the same thing. You're looking for an audience. I'm looking for an audience. Do you hear this? I'm doing well. You're not doing well. You want to do well. I want you to do. And I go, how did you do that? Imagine someone is not only heckling you, but stopping your show. Jerry is not Israeli. He's an American Jew. He's not Netanyahu. He's not responsible for Israeli politics, and they're shutting his show down, and has the perspective to be empathetic to them,
right?
Kind, generous, open to people stopping his show, and then flip it on them effortlessly, and give them some perspective and make it funny. So I was like, "How did you do that?" And he broke it all down for me. So like I'm very lucky as a stand-up because I can go to these guys who do it on the highest level and pick their brains, and they give me everything. I'm very lucky.
So
that's gotta be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you.
That being said, I'm viciously mediocre as a stand-up. I'm terrible. No, I'm just kidding. I just filmed my special.
Where's it at?
Where did you? Yeah.
Where's
I
the
filmed
special
it.
gonna be?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not sold yet.
No.
Nice.
No, I just shot it. I just shot it at the Vic Theater in Chicago.
Oh, nice. You did Chicago.
Yeah.
You mentioned about how you were like, I didn't know I had money.
Yeah.
And I read it a lot, and I hear it a lot that's the common thing with people in, whether they're actors or they're comedians, whatever it is, like when they finally realize that they have money and like they've done well. Was there a moment when you realized that?
When you realized you're the man?
Because, everyone says, you're obviously very well known for Entourage, but maybe there was something before that you felt that was like, okay, I hit it, I'm making money, I'm doing great. Like, 'cause you were, prior to Entourage, you were in a ton of stuff. It wasn't like you weren't a working actor. Like, you were making money as an actor.
Yeah, but you have to understand, I was doing and I wouldn't have it any other way, but I've been in a bunch of movies that you've seen where they'll call me at the last second. Hey man, we need some comedy in Rush Hour. We need you to play the gay Versace salesman.
But you killed it.
And so I went in there and I shot it and improvised the whole thing. I made $270 to do that role. Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan each made $20 million, and it's all good. But what I'm saying is I've done big movies where you make scale for the day. Cameron Crowe would call me into singles, say anything, whatever, and they just plug me in, and I get to improvise and give them a little comedy. So, I've always had that Chicago kind of grinding journeyman actor mentality.
So was it Entourage that made you go, okay, this was where I've hit my stride. I'm famous, or I mean, famous is I know a loaded word, but like,
well,
I have money, I've done well. This is
when we were doing Entourage, we started that show before social media. There were people gathering on Sunday nights. That's how I knew. So the first time I knew we were onto something was that people were like, "Hey, man, we're all gathering to watch your show." I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, we're all going to watch your show." I was like, "Oh, you are? That's amazing." So people would gather on Sunday nights to watch episodes of Entourage, and that's when I knew, oh, okay, I think we're breaking through. I did 40 movies before Entourage. I was 37 years old. I wasn't a kid. I know I still look good. Don't worry about it, bro.
You do. I mean, not to be weird,
I look the
but
same.
You haven't aged at all.
That's what I'm talking about. How come only men give me compliments? When are the women going to give me compliments? If I was gay, I would be killing the game. I could end this horrible charade. Fucking wish I was gay.
I wish I was gay.
Wait, so is old
That's the name of this segment.
So is old school before Entourage or after Entourage?
Old school was before Entourage.
It was, right?
Yeah. So yeah, old school, like I got the script and I was like, oh my, and I'm not just saying this, I was like, this is, Todd Phillips wrote the best comedy I'd ever written, I'd ever read. I was like, this is incredible. Can I meet him? They're like, yeah, you can meet him. And I was like, hey, Todd, can I read for this? And he's like, no, that's Vince Vaughn. I go, what about this? No, that's Will Ferrell. Oh, no, that's Luke Wilson. I go, what's left? They go, the only thing that's left is the nerdy dean. He goes, you can't play the nerdy dean. I go, yeah, I can. He goes, no, you can't play it. He said to me literally, he goes, you look like you're one of Vince's friends. You look like, he said to me, he goes, you look like you're built like a gymnast, he said. I was like, I don't even know what that means, but thank you. I am very flexible, by the way. Don't get weird, bro, but I am.
So is he.
He's flexible?
Yes, he is.
Stop
big
it.
guy.
Oh
I have
my
been told
God, he's
that.
the most flexible
Can you do
fat
the
man
splits?
I've ever seen.
I used to be able to get
He's double
pretty low, but
jointed,
I've gotten.
He
I
beat
put a
us-
few more pounds on.
He us all in gym
Do
class.
the splits. Do the splits.
I'm on the downtrend. I'm down a bunch
Okay.
of weight. Give me another year, and I can probably
Okay.
get back to.
We'll be
doing
back.
good.
We'll be
doing
back.
good. I'm down a lot.
We'll be back.
So, last question, because I know you're busy. And you
But
got
I
a lot
just
of
end that
stuff to do.
story. I went back in. So I said, can I audition for the nerdy dean? He said, sure. So I did like a comb over. I had a really awkward sweater vest, and I got some big awkward glasses that are similar to the glasses I wear to this day. Like I literally, if you did a smash cut to like, you might visually of me in, as Dean Pritchard, there were these big awkward glasses wearing a terrible sweater vest, and I played the role, and I got it. And but again, these are all I'm a journeyman actor. You make a little bit of money. You make enough money to pay your rent and eat. And yeah, the turning point moment I think ultimately monetarily was Entourage.
Right on. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last question.
Yeah.
On your way out of here, hopefully you can scream a Lloyd. And I also want to say that I really appreciate you, the way your mind works. This little, we're a bunch of shitheads who run a dive bar. We're having fun.
Yeah.
You're a big deal for us coming here, so thank you. Any advice that you could give us for what we're doing here, or how to make it better or more fun, or whatever? I would love to hear what you have to say. And then
Oh,
we're
well,
done.
thank you for having me. We're all, this is going to sound very ethereal, but we're all like spirits having a human experience. And the highest vibration is authenticity. So if you just keep being yourselves, it's all going to work out. But if you chase shit, and because we're all in this together, we're all the same. I just been grinding works. I got lucky. I had a stage when I was 8, so I got my reps in, and when my time came, I was ready.
So consistency.
Yeah, it's consistency. It's like anything else, but just keep doing your thing. Don't chase it. If you come from a place of lack, then it's not going to happen. But you guys are doing your thing. You're killing it. And I would say for you, Ozempic and stretch.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Jeremy, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
And,
Namaste,
join
bitches.
us next time on The Memo. Thanks, guys. We're out.
Yeah, we did it. All right. That was the best one yet.